What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to a new subscriber for showing love. Much respect to the brother Joker TV for the $20 donation via the Cash App. Much respect to him for showing love to Too Raw for TV, aka Too Raw for Sports. Alright, now, this is a question that I got, and someone wanted to know what I thought about the Miami Heat signing Kevin Love, and I believe the other characters, I call him character, the other player's name is, I think it's Cody Zeller. The Miami Heat are currently 32-27, all right? They are pretty much the worst team in the NBA when it comes to scoring. They're dead last in scoring at 108 points a game, which sounds kind of outlandish to me because if this was 10 or 15 years ago, they'd be one of the highest scoring teams in the NBA. But anyway, they're dead last in scoring at 108 points a game. I think they're 27 for 30 in offensive rating. Yet, they're fourth in defensive rating, and they're second in points yielded at 108. So defensively, the Heat are very good. The problem is they have issues scoring the basketball. Another thing that was glaringly obvious, and we really saw it when they were going up against Boston last year, is their size down low is almost miniature compared to Boston. That was a big factor in that series that Miami just couldn't overcome. That and the fact that they relied on Jimmy Butler to score too much. You know, Jimmy Butler had to drop. He had to almost be like Michael Jordan out there for them to win. If he wasn't getting any help because Tyler Hero didn't do dilly squat in that series in the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, look, I don't know about Miami going to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Do I think Kevin Love and Zeller help? Yeah, they're two bodies. They're two big bodies that will definitely help. As far as size and added size to the team, both of them are capable of scoring, and they definitely need that. Kevin Love also adds a shooting touch from outside, though this year he's been struggling shooting the basketball. I think he's only shooting like 38 or 39% from the floor and 35% from three. Last year he was 43% from the field and 39% from three-point range. So he's not shooting the basketball as well. His scoring is down. He's definitely not the Kevin Love that we even saw, playing with LeBron, let alone the Kevin Love from a decade ago and with the Minnesota Timberwolves. But, these are two big men that can score, that can shoot, especially Love, and they can pass. And that you have to hope should open up things a little bit offensively because Miami's defense is so good. There's going to be a lot of games, and there have been a lot of games that they lost by probably 4, 5, 6 points, where if they could have just scored a couple of more buckets, maybe they would have won maybe an extra 5 or 6 games, or maybe extra 7 games. I mean, that sound like much, but instead of them being 31-27, then all of a sudden they're 37-20, and they're one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. Another thing that's an added bonus for Kevin Love is that he brings veteran leadership. All right, he's a veteran. He's an NBA champion. Both of these guys have playoff experience, especially Kevin Love. But Zeller's been in the NBA for quite some time, and also they're going to a franchise that is just about aside from Golden State, maybe the most professional and the most solid organization in the NBA, the Miami Heat. You know, they're all about business when it comes to Miami Heat. No lollygagging, you know what I'm saying? None of that. Those types of players, they don't last in Miami. It's about business. It's a winning culture there, even though they, haven't won a championship since 2014. But still, when you look at how quickly they were able to recover and rebound from that, that's a testament to how much of a winning culture they have. And at age 77, Pat Riley is still well in control of that organization. And I wish them well. Like I said, I don't see them winning a championship, but it's definitely, I think, an underrated pickup. I think it's an underrated pickup. You have to hope that, especially with a guy like Kevin Love, maybe because he's in a situation that's new, different scenery, maybe just to rejuvenate him. Oftentimes in the NBA, we'll see teams who looked a certain way during their first part of the season, during the second part of the season, or especially the last 10 or 15 games of the season, go on these runs and look different. Case in point, Golden State Warriors. Last year, Golden State got out to that nearly historic 20-game start. Then for the next 40 games, they played 500 basketball. They just looked totally lost. But then when it came off the break, especially down the stretch, they got it ramping. They got it ramped up, and the Warriors went on a roll and all the way to the championship. Now I want to name another team that didn't win a championship, but they were a different ball club after the All-Star break. Remember the Orlando Magic in 2019? I think it was that year. Remember how they were a pretty mediocre team the first half of the season, but then I think like the last 15 games they went on a roll. Didn't they win like 11 consecutive games going into the playoffs? And they were a really tough out for Kawhi Leonard and the eventual champion Toronto Raptors. So that's what I'm talking about. So you never know. These things can happen, and injuries happen. Unfortunately, maybe a certain team might suffer an injury which could possibly open up an opportunity for the Miami Heat. You don't ever hope for those types of things, but those are things that can happen. So that's how I feel about it. I give it, I don't like to put a range on it. I mean, it's not like they signed a superstar, or even the Kevin Love of 5-6 years ago, or even just last year. He was a 6-man candidate, but it's a very significant pickup, and it should help them down the stretch. But tell me what you guys think.